Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the video. Today we are coming to you from a location in China that I've never been to and I've always wanted to come. And the reason I've wanted to come is because every time I go back home to the US, in the area where I'm from, if I meet, let's say 10 Chinese people, 9 of them would be from this province. They wouldn't necessarily be from this city, they'd usually be from like a small town outside of here, but I'm in the capital of Fujian Province. And the Fujian people are well known all over the world for just getting out abroad. You'll find them in every corner of the globe. And right now, I just got here today. I'm kind of wiped out. If you've ever been to Fuzhou, you'll know this place. It's called Sanfang Qixiang, and this is Nanhou Street. And the thing about this, it's been largely restored, but this has been here since the Ming and Qing dynasty. So the original structures from here were built like as early as the 14th century. So this is one of the most historical old quarters in all of China, and that's where we are now. I wanted to give you guys a night view. We're gonna be back here tomorrow. Check it out during the day as well, but we definitely needed to take in some of that night scenery. And you can see, yeah, it's a tourist destination, but it's also a very popular place with all the locals. Loaded with restaurants and shops and cafes. And I'll tell you guys one thing, I'm definitely hungry. Gotta find something to eat. That shouldn't be too hard around here. But you can see it's definitely got that old Chinese feel to it. And luckily my hotel is close enough to here, I could just walk here, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of muggy out here, but it's not overly hot. I mean, pretty much anywhere you go in China right now is gonna be hot. And I'd say it's that way in most of the world, at least in the northern hemisphere. But it's lively, a lot of people are out. And like I said, I just got here, so this is all completely new to me. I'm glad to have you guys along for the journey. And that's definitely a unique Starbucks. And not surprisingly, you've got people wearing these old garbs from previous dynasties, because I mean, this is the perfect place for photo ops and get their pictures for social media. They won't really be putting them on Instagram most likely because that's blocked in China, but and in this video I'm not here to give you guys a historical breakdown of this city. I mean, hell, you can go on Wikipedia for that. Of course, I'll throw in a few little tidbits and nuggets to make the video more interesting, but I mainly just want to show you guys what it's like. And if you talk to any Chinese people wherever you happen to be and ask them which part of China they're from, there's a good chance they might be from this province. You see they're closing up shop. They've got to bring these wooden planks out to close it up, which is really cool. I've never seen that before. The olden ways. So I was just out walking around and I found a place that is selling Fuzhou's most famous specialty, fish balls. And I decided to get a bowl. So they make them fresh right here. I can smell them, they smell great. And the folks here were super nice. Okay, here they are, the fish balls. And these are a lot bigger than I thought they would be. And that's at least 2 or 3 bites right there. Now the first ones, I mean, these are piping hot. I'm just gonna try them just with the plain soup. So let's give it a shot. Now when you look at these fish balls, there's a little surprise in the middle. They're stuffed with meat. I'll tell you, I don't even really need dipping sauce with this. It tastes fantastic. Yeah, these things are, I knew they would be good, but they're actually better than I thought they would be. As you walk down the street, you've got all these little back alleyways. It's really a beautiful area. I'll tell you one interesting thing. This is like the main place you would see tourists here in Fuzhou. And granted, it's a weeknight, it's not a peak hour, but I haven't seen one Westerner or one, let's just say one non-Asian person, period. I haven't seen an African, I haven't seen a white-skinned person, a black-skinned person, which kind of surprised me. I thought I would see at least some, but I've literally seen 0. That dude, he ain't playing. Now this is just across the street from the historical district I was just in, and this is a, it's all food street. Now this area looks pretty lively. I would say this is the most lively area around, so let's do a little walk through. Well, if you can't read Chinese, can't speak Chinese, no worries. We've got a whole menu on the wall. Well, it's a hot, humid, muggy night, and this ice-cold peach cocktail is going down quite nicely tonight. Very refreshing after a long day. Good morning, guys. Day one begins. Yesterday was day zero. That was just the appetizer. Today is where the real magic happens, and I just wanted to show you guys this insane construction spot. Now, they got a load on that little cart. And guys, in case you didn't know, e-bikes are a thing in China. Everybody's congregated over here waiting for the light. This in and of itself is almost a cultural experience. I mean, I could hop in a taxi for next to nothing and get where I'm going, but I kind of like being out here, out in the sun, with the people, and it gives me a feel for the city. Decent weather today, can't complain. A lot of places around China right now are pretty rainy, but not only is it hot, it's also extremely humid. I've only been outside for a few minutes and I'm already dripping sweat. Talking about the heat and the sun, you're gonna see a lot of parasols. You're gonna see a lot of sunbrellas out here, or otherwise known as parasols. There you go. A lot of women here use them. Obviously they want to protect themselves from the sun's rays, but more importantly for them, they want to keep light colored fair skin. They do not like having dark skin. Some people don't like the heat. For me, it's no big deal. I mean, hell, I was just in Cambodia recently. It was quite a bit hotter than this. Oh, look, here we go. This dude's giving away free tickets to the gun show. I've got a dilemma here. I don't want to get sprayed. Let me move quick. What you're seeing right here is a children's library. Now let's pop over here to KFC China. I'll tell you, the first thing I notice when I walk in is the air conditioning. And it looks like there's nothing going on the first floor. Got to go upstairs. Oh, that AC feels good. I'm not gonna lie, it's damn hot out there. All right, KFC China. Got my iced coffee, black, no sugar, no cream. Kind of small, this little sucker, would you believe it? Cost me over $2 US. Little surprised by that, but that's okay. Okay, as promised yesterday, we're back here at Sanfang Qixiang, otherwise known as the Nanhou Historic Walking Street area, or the Historic District. You saw it last night, you saw how it looks in the evening. Today we're gonna catch a day view, and it's pretty interesting. I was watching a video of a guy who has been in Fuzhou for a long time, and he said that when he first came to Fuzhou, this area was in tatters. It was in poor condition, kind of just left to fall apart. And what they've done is they've come in and restored it and turned it into a main tourist attraction here in the city. By all accounts, that's definitely a success story. But to be honest, I really wish I could have come here before all that restoration was done and seen how it just really looked, because there's a lot of history here. We're talking going back, 800 years or so with some of these buildings. But ultimately, if they don't restore it, it's just going to completely fall apart. But the problem is that in restoring it, you do lose something. You lose a bit of that authenticity. Now, it does look like they've maintained as much as they can, and it's still an awesome area. But it is regrettable that I wasn't able to see it before the restoration happened. All right, I found a place where I should be able to score some good local specialties. This right here says basically Fuzhou food. And looks like you got quite a few options. I definitely want to try some of the local specialties. And one of the things when you go to a region, you would think it would be very easy to find the local specialties, but it's not always that easy. Sometimes it's actually really tough. And you guys know me, when I go somewhere, I try the local specialties. I eat as many of them as I can, and this will be probably the most expensive breakfast I've ever had in China. Altogether, this cost me almost $10, but what we've got here, we've got some basically pan-fried baozi. They're fried on the bottom, they've got pork filling, and then over here we've got a local specialty. It's a type of like porridge, but it's got like these white things in here. It looks like noodles, but it's made from rice. It's got all types of seafood in it. I'm usually not a seafood guy, but you gotta try the local specialties, and they call this Fujian Province. And just outside of this really awesome McDonald's, we have the 12 core values of socialism, which you will find all over the entire nation of China. Well, since I arrived during my short time here in Fuzhou, it's gonna be my first time taking the Fuzhou Metro. Hello. Hey. And I know they're gonna have that AC cranked up, and I can't wait. So when you get in, the first thing you gotta do is go through the security check. Just let them scan your bags and walk through the little human scanner here. Let's see if these work. Oh no, bummer, they don't work. Gonna have to use some old knee grease. One thing that I really like, amongst many things that I really like about Fuzhou, are the signs. I mean, they've got the road signs, but not only that, they've got all these other signs telling you where the main, you know, attractions are, or important places like hospitals, scenic areas, different parks, and it's extremely helpful. So 2 thumbs up to you, Fuzhou. We're coming over here to Yushan Historic District, and this park goes way back. I mean, it's got history. It's got its history linking back like 2,000 years. I love the greenery of southern China. It just feels good. Being out in it, seeing it, it's just a really nice feeling. It's so beautiful. And as soon as you enter the park, you see the 12 core socialist values. And then looking out the other side, if you go over here, you can see a huge statue of Chairman Mao over there, waving out into the city. And it begins. This is a pretty chill hike. From what I've read, it's nothing too intense, which is good. I'll use this opportunity just to share a few thoughts about coming out here to Fuzhou City. First time out here, and this trip holds some special meaning for me, because when I'm back home in the US and I meet Chinese people, we get to talking, I ask them where they're from. Seems like about 9 times out of 10, they turn out to be from Fujian Province. And I'm in the capital of Fujian Province right now. And I always feel kind of bad when I tell them, yeah, I've been in China for over a decade, traveled all throughout the country, I've been here, I've been there, here, there, everywhere, except your hometown, your home province. Fujian is just sort of, it's not really out of the way, but its location is just where people a lot of times end up skipping it. And I've been one of those people. But this time I made a special trip out here. So next time I'm home and I meet some new Chinese friends, I can say, hey, yeah, where are you from? Oh, you're from Fujian? Yeah, I've been there. Beautiful place. Look at all this bamboo growing. I love bamboo. I love to look at it and I love to eat it. Bamboo shoots are so good. Look at that. It's awesome. So apparently this is the Hall of Guan, which I don't know the history of this, guys, I'll be honest. But I do know that there's a tea from this province called Tie Guanyin that I used to drink. I'm guessing there's got to be some kind of connection. Look at that. How cool is that? This old tree, you can see all the roots just growing all over this rock. Can't tell you exactly what this means or represents, but it's an awesome visual. I take that back. I can tell you what this means. Because I'm just a Chinese history and cultural expert, I can tell you that this is Lion Rock. And it got its name for its resemblance to a crouching lion guarding the entrance to the Zhuangyuan Peak. Standing high up and facing toward the remote Five Tiger Mountain, it overlooks the city and watches over its safety. Yes, it does. Thank you, Lion Rock, for keeping us all safe. Haven't seen many people at this park. Most of the people I've seen have been guys who look kind of down on their luck, shirts off, sleeping on the bench. But this park is awesome. Yeah, sure, it's hotter than hell out here, I can't blame people for not being out, but that's better for me. I got the whole place to myself. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's somebody. And then just over there, to make it even better, you've got the faint sound of an old gentleman playing the erhu, and he's quite proficient.继续吧，太好听了，真的。啊，那就3毛给你。啊，这个你了，太好听了。Wow, 非常棒. Fujian Province is basically surrounded by mountains. There's a lot of rivers, forests, and the topography here is really amazing. You won't get a closer view of one of these old tile rooftops than you're getting right now. Welcome to West Lake, guys. And no, we didn't magically transport over to Hangzhou. That's where the most famous West Lake is, but this is one actually I didn't know existed right here in Fuzhou City. And if you were curious to see the difference between this West Lake and the West Lake in Hangzhou, actually you can check out my Hangzhou video. Now both of the Xihus are the exact same character, Xihu West Lake, literal translation, but they're very, very different. The one in Hangzhou is much, much larger than this, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's better. I'll be honest with you, with the greenery and just the lushness of the nature here in Fujian Province, I think I'll probably end up liking this one more. It's definitely not a knock on Hangzhou, but Fujian so far is just, it's really beautiful in terms of nature. And it looks like we're gonna have to make this pretty quick visit. I see some ominous clouds out in the distance, and I just heard a pretty wicked crash of thunder. And I checked the forecast. Earlier it said no rain expected, but apparently things have changed. Now they expect rain within the next hour. So we're gonna have to make this quick, short and sweet. Definitely a nice, peaceful atmosphere here. You know, one of the interesting things about being in this part of China, and this is something I haven't experienced in other areas, is the fact that where I'm from in the United States, most people that I met who, they might be Americans now, but they're originally from China, the vast majority come from this province. And when I look at these people, a lot of them, you know, they look different than the Northeasterners. They look different. Each region of China, you know, the people are going to look a little bit different. They're going to have their own unique characteristics. And when I see the people here, it looks just like a lot of the Chinese folks I see back home. They've got that Fujian look, and I feel a certain feeling of warmness and familiarity with them, which is really a cool feeling. Like, I don't know them, they're perfect strangers, but in a weird way I kind of do feel like I know them. I've been to a lot of places in China, and I can say that it's the first time I've had this kind of feeling. It's quite unique, and it's a very positive feeling. Got some big museums over there. They've got the art museum and some other kind of museum as well, but you can see those clouds rolling in. Raindrops are starting to fall, but it could come on quick. Perfect timing. We made a loop around the park. We came in that way, we walked all the way around. We're heading out this exit, grab a taxi, and go find some shelter in a place that happens to have some food and some beer. The smell of rain. It's sprinkling. It's nothing yet. Of course, I've got an umbrella in the hotel, but of course I didn't bring it out, right? That's okay. A little sprinkle didn't hurt. Actually feels kind of good, as long as it doesn't start with a heavy downpour. Now that's what I call an umbrella. I'm lucky this rain didn't really get heavy yet, because I've tried like 4 taxis and none of them will stop. Let's see what this guy does. See? No, he won't stop. They won't stop. They won't pick you up. I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe their shift is over, but all right, here I am. Hold up. I knew it was gonna hit hard, and it did. No taxis would pick me up, and there's no place to take shelter, and here I am. And it's coming down now. Hey, at least I'm not out in the rain, but this is, I foresaw this happening. I was like, okay, I gotta get somewhere before this happens, and I've gotta randomly take shelter in some shitty spot. But sure enough, look where I am. By any definition, I'm in a shitty spot. I want to give a special shout out and a big thank you to all the taxi drivers who would not pick me up even though they had an empty car. Thanks, guys.
A few minutes later.
Hey guys, it's just me again. Just checking in. It's a lovely day. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Yes, I have. One of the worst storms I've seen lately. And I'm in the, not the worst possible circumstance, but I'm definitely not in the best. And the thing is, I saw this coming. I tried to avoid it, but the damn taxis wouldn't pick me up. See that lightning? It's getting incredibly close. I'm finally where I wanted to be. Things definitely didn't go as smoothly as I hoped they would, and as they could have, had those taxi drivers not just pass me by. But it's still raining. According to the forecast, it might be raining for another couple hours yet. But we are here at Daming Food Street. I was here yesterday, but I didn't eat anything. Today will be different. Today, I will stuff my face. I will eat until my belly is big and round, pregnant with not only food, but discomfort as well. But it's definitely not the day for these food stalls. I'm gonna find a place. I know there's places around the corner where you can dine in, but you can see they just go on and on, one after the next. Food, 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 everywhere you look. These poor folks, though, on days like this, they're not going to get much business. That's for sure. I'll tell you, it started flooding. There were certain areas when I was in that taxi where the water was like 1.5 feet deep, and it happened quickly. China just, when it rains, I mean, that was a heavy rain, but it floods so quickly here. Now, you remember this from earlier in the video, I'm sure, but hey, we're going to get an inside look. I like the vibes over here, so this is the perfect place. Just find a good place to chill, get some food, slam down a couple beers, and just relax. Stay out of the rain. Not necessarily what you'd expect in China, but Corona has been catching on, and I always knew that it would. I predicted this a long time ago because Corona is kind of a light taste. It's nice and smooth, goes down easy. A lot of Chinese beer is kind of the same. I mean, it's different than Corona, but it's kind of in the same ballpark. And I always thought that Chinese would love Corona, because back in the day, they didn't really have it. And nowadays, it's getting more and more popular. So, guys, if you're watching this video, I want to give you guys a cheers and say thanks for your support. I hope you're enjoying it. So this one's to you guys. Cheers. Another day is ending. It's been a fun day. Had a lot of interesting experiences, but we've got to close this chapter and get ready to start a new one tomorrow, God willing. Catch you on the flip side. Here we are at Fuzhou Railway Station. This is the main station here in Fuzhou, and we are about to depart, heading for another city. I'm not going to tell you where it is yet. You'll have to subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell to stay updated on where my next adventure or misadventure will take me. As a foreign traveler, I can't go through the automatic like quick lines over there. I have to go through the line that's got staff waiting to do a manual check. It's no big deal though. Sometimes it actually works out to my benefit because a lot of times this line won't have anybody, but these other lines will have a ton of people. All right, we're in. Now, I've eaten nothing but Fujian cuisine my whole time here, but it looks like I'm gonna have to break away from that because I just don't have time. I need something to eat and I need some coffee, and I don't have a whole lot of time to work with. Getting it done. It was close. That's one of the old trains there. Those are the slow ones. They're kind of fun though. I've had a lot of experiences on those old trains and some long rides. It's kind of cool when you look out into the distance, all you see is mountains, because this province is just surrounded by mountains, and that's one of the reasons that sometimes it's not that convenient to get to, because routes are not always direct and can be a little more complex. It's one of the lesser visited places in China, and I think it's mainly just due to the topography here and all the mountains surrounding it. And here comes my train. This is what they call the bullet train, the Gautier. Fast one. If you look on the ground, you see those numbers? It says 16 is all the way that way. They put it opposite. So I went to the furthest train on one side, and now I've got to run all the way up. There's no way I'll make it to my train. So I'll have to hope to get lucky and find a seat in a different one. This is slightly frustrating, but I'll get as close as I can. But yeah, guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap things up for this video of Fuzhou. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more adventures on the way. And also, if you'd like to go that extra mile in supporting what I do, feel free to check me out on patreon.com or buy me a coffee. And also, for all of you who have dropped me a gratuity right here on the YouTube platform, I want to give you guys a huge shout out. Thank you all so much. It really means a lot. So that's going to wrap things up for this video. We'll catch you in the next one. 下次再见。